Man, Raw was insane tonight, and so much happened. I was like, I don't know how much crazy stuff's gonna happen on this Raw. I had a few ideas, and all of it happened. So shockingly, all of it happened. We got to get right into it, and we have to start with our last real champion, our Intercontinental Champion, John Cena. His final Raw in Madison Square Garden, and his final Raw in his active wrestling career. And he's cutting a promo, very pro New York promo with the Yankees inspired gear. He's like, the champ is here. And he's like, and I told you guys I'm going to have a match. I wanted you guys to be loud. And the crowd was very loud. And then they got even louder with the boos when Dominic Mysterio came out. These 2 weeks got Dominic some real heel heat. Even though they still love him, they're like, man, you're interrupting Cena again. And Dom's like, I want my IC title back. And Cena's like, okay, well, let's do it right now. I'll put it up right now. And Dom's like, no, I'm not fighting you. Ew, why would I want to fight you? He's like, we're not doing it on your terms. We're going to do it on my terms. And the crowd takes over telling Dom to shut the fuck up. Or a chocolate cup or whatever Cena said they were chanting. I don't remember. But Cena's like, oh, well, do you want to fight me or not? And Dom's like, are you guys done? And Cena's like, are you done? They kind of went back and forth. He was like, Dominic belongs here, man. He's going mic for mic. He's going toe for toe with Cena on the mic. Never thought that I would say that sentence, but he really is. And Dominic's like, we're going to do it in my hometown of San Diego at Survivor Series for the IC belt. And Cena accepts, of course, and I'm okay with it. I would rather Cena face somebody like that he hasn't already faced, but Dominic needs to get his belt back, and here you go. But Dominic's like, well, you wanted a fight, so we're going to beat you up. The Judgment Day come out, and literally it felt just like when R-Truth needed a tag partner and Cena ran out like Raw after Mania. It was pretty funny because it just like that's what it reminded me of. But this time, instead of R-Truth, we get Rey Mysterio and Sheamus, and Cena uses his political power backstage to make a 6-man tag match. Now, there were some fun moments in the match. We had the 30 beats of the Bodhrán, and we had the 15 knuckle shuffle along with a double 619 from Rey. And then Cena, he gets the pin on JD McDonough, and these 3 old heads celebrated, all in their late 40s, and but 3 legends of the industry. Pretty cool, because in this picture, they're standing Rey, Cena, Sheamus, and when Rey had the WWE belt, Cena took it off of him, and then Sheamus took it off of Cena, so just kind of fun storytelling. Cena really liked pointing to the people behind the stage, being like, hi guys, it was fun. But Cena, he looks in the camera and go, and that's all she wrote. That's all, folks. That's all she wrote. So Cena will never appear on Raw again as a active competitor, and it was pretty emotional. But we still have 2 more dates, so I'm excited for those ones. But we gotta go backstage. We gotta get into the rest of the show. And Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are talking at first, and they're like, man, we just hate Paul Heyman. Like, we should have read the contract better. Like, what he did is okay. And Heyman's like, hi, guys, I'm here. I'm here, guys. And he's like, I know you guys are mad. I can feel the tension, but everything I did was legal. And they're like, we know. And Paul he's like, well, if you guys don't like what I did for the 4th guy, you guys are going to hate what I did for the 5th. He hands Pierce the contract. They open it up and they go, oh my God. They looked like they wanted to just unleash a beast on Heyman. Stephanie Vaquer then tries to come out, but she gets jumped by Nikki Bella. It was the most predictable thing ever, and fitting that the Survivor Series logo is behind them because that's where this match will be taking place. Nikki cuts a promo, and it was okay. She's like, I'm glad you reminded me of who I am, because I'm not no cheerleader. Okay, that's it. I'm done talking about it. Let's go to the Last Time Is Now tournament. Let's talk more about John Cena and stuff. I like it. I like Cena, talking about Cena more than Nikki Bella. Anyway, Solo Sikoa, he has a mystery partner, or mystery opponent, and who could this be? Could it be somebody who's who you just got to say his name? Is it going to be somebody who is just here to show the world? And it is. It is Dolph Ziggler. He is the mystery opponent, and man, seeing Dolph Ziggler back on Raw was just so nice. I miss him in WWE. He's doing great things in TNA, don't get me wrong, but man, just here, I'm here to show the world. Oh man, it felt electric. But he loses to Solo Sikoa. It was very upsetting when I saw it. I'm like, so you have two mystery opponents from TNA, and then you just bury TNA even more. Come on. At least they didn't bury their TNA characters in Matt Cardona and Nick Nemeth. You know, Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder lost. But why is Solo winning this? This doesn't... Okay, whatever. Moving on. Alexa Bliss comes out, and she's like, I've been trying to talk to Charlotte and all of this, and she's just not answering. I see that you're in New York, and just, really, Charlotte? Like, you're gonna... Like, because you don't like Rhea? Really? Like you're gonna leave your best friend? And the crowd sucks. I hate the crowd here. They're wutting Alexa Bliss, who's one of the best talkers in WWE, and they're wutting her. And she tries to shrug it off, and then she acknowledges it, and the crowd just keeps doing it anyway. I hated Madison Square Garden during the segment. But the heel team, of course, has to come out now. The Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, they all come out, and Nia, Asuka cuts something in Japanese, and Nia Jax goes, yeah, what Asuka said. And then she has the microphone again, and she's like, I know why Charlotte left you. And then they're gonna beat up Alexa Bliss. But they're not, because Rhea and Io Sky are here. They start brawling. The heel team gets on top. They need help. And Charlotte Flair joins War Games again. Okay. Did anybody not see this coming? Like, she was really laying in those kendo stick shots, though. But, like, why would they do this, like, fake, like, oh, I don't want to team with you guys, but the next week I'm going to come help you guys? What? Such a weird, like I said last week, like, who cares? And once again, like, who cares? You know, we knew that you were going to be in the War Games match, so it's just weird. But speaking of weird and crazy, Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupri for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And this match was pretty good. You know, I enjoyed it a lot. Becky was really just working really well as a heel, trying to carry Maxine through this match. And Maxine's definitely improving in wrestling, and she seems like she belongs now, which is very good. But this match really gets thrown apart, really blows up when Becky throws Maxine out of the ring and starts untying the turnbuckle, because we get the return of AJ Lee. We had to light up this match a little bit, and Becky, she's like, "What are you doing, AJ? Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to get involved in my bit? I'm the best, you know." And AJ's just like, turn around, diving crossbody from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Are you kidding me? Mind blown. I never even saw this on, like, wow. This was not on my 2025 bingo card. I saw some rumors that maybe AJ costs Becky, but I just thought it would be like after the match from like a beatdown. AJ would come back. I expected AJ Lee to return, but I didn't expect it in the middle of the match, and I definitely didn't expect Maxine to end up winning. But how amazing is that? I mean, we have a new Women's Intercontinental Champion, and Maxine Dupri is probably the most perfect Women's Intercontinental Champion you could get. So I still wonder what this means for AJ Lee and Becky. I think that they're both going to be joining the War Games, but I mean, after that, is it going to be like a triple threat for the Women's IC title? Is it going to be like AJ going after Maxine, which would be weird? But I don't know. I'm curious to see where it goes after War Games, because I definitely think both of those women will be in War Games. But now we go to the Last Time Is Now tournament, and Javon Evans versus Gunther or is it Gunther or is it Walter? Because he comes out with his OG theme. It's still Gunther, but I love the crowd going, Walter. Because I was like, wow, this theme seems like when I was listening to it, I go, wow, this theme's a little different. And then I'm like, oh my god, it's his NXT UK theme, which I knew he wasn't losing after. I didn't think he was going to lose, but the 1% that had me think Javon Evans was going to win completely disappeared. This was such a fun match. The chops were brutal. Javon flying all over the place. Javon gets powerbombed, but he kicks out. But then he gets put in a sleeper hold and he taps out kind of, but passes out at the same time. It's actually a pretty realistic tap from Javon Evans. If you were that exhausted, kind of just like, you see that in UFC all the time, kind of just like tapping instead of like the rapid like, oh, I gotta get out. It was more of like the slow tap. So I appreciated that, even though the ref got very confused. But, he's a fake ref. He's not like an actual referee. But shout out Gunther winning, advancing. He's going to win the entire tournament. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. Moving on, we go backstage to the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, Maxine Dupri and AJ Lee. And Maxine Dupri's like, I won this belt, and I feel like I finally belong. And like Jackie Redmond's like, well, hey AJ, you're here, like, are you gonna stick around this time? And she's like, I came to help my husband, but Becky, there was just something about Becky, and I just don't like bullies, so I really just had to I just had to deal with her. And then when AJ goes to walk away is when we get the confrontation we all wanted to see, AJ Lee and Rhea Ripley. Wow, if this image doesn't make you be like, wow, WWE is great right now, I don't know what will. But Rhea Ripley's like, hey, do you got a second to chat? AJ Lee's probably going to join the face team at War Games, and I'm so down for it. I'm so excited for that. I think it'll be great. But we got to go to the main event now, the little face-off between The Vision and Drew McIntyre, because he didn't come out with them, but he did come out right. He didn't come out with them, but he came out right after them. And then, of course, Punk and Cody. Cody came out last, but Punk came out first, and he's like, come on, guys, what time is it, And it's yeet time, apparently. The Usos, all four men, ready to go. This is kind of a weird image with the baby faces surrounding the ring and everything, but, I love this already. Huge brawl breaking out. People throwing people everywhere. Punk is going for a go to sleep. And the Beast is back. The Beast incarnate is back. He lays waste to Punk with suplexes. Nasty suplexes, by the way. He throws Cody halfway across the ring. He's like, ah! The logo pops up. But the show isn't over. The Tribal Chief, acknowledge him, and we get the face-off of the century. Of the century for sure so far, because it keeps always happening, and it just fills with aura every time. Now, of course, Roman Superman punches Brock. Brock goes flying out of the ring. They're all brawling. Security comes down. Security can't hold them. NYPD comes down. They love doing the NYPD stuff whenever they're in New York, but they can't stop anything. Roman ends up spearing two of the people, and Bronson Reed through it to end the show. And War Games, we now have the fifth member for both teams, and wow. Yeah, no, War Games is going to be insane, and I cannot wait for it. But that is it for Raw. We still have 12 days before Survivor Series happens as I record this. So, what a Raw. But for right now, that's it.